Hi, my name is Sarah Jackman. This is the second episode of Inner Guru. Um, Today we're going to be talking about the medicine wheel and my experience on a vision quest that I did a few years ago, um, which basically kickstarted my spiritual journey because it was very extreme and a little traumatic, but very eye-opening and wonderful at the same time. So I'm going to start off with the crystal I'm wearing today. This is called Emma Green, and if you didn't see last week, basically I have a plate of crystals, and I turn it around, close my eyes, pick one for each day, and it is perfectly suited for me and my energy and my aura and my chakras for each day. So this is what I'm wearing today. Emma Green, and it's a very special stone. It carries the frequency of both amethyst and proselyte. So amethyst is to do with divine connection, your third eye chakra, and then proselyte has to do with heart-centered healing, a balancing spiritual quest with the manifestation of divine energy on the earth plane. Emma Green carries both the wind and the earth elements, being one of the few minerals that is easily able to accommodate these polarities within self. The affirmation for this crystal is, I offer myself to full connection with spirit through the opening and union of my mind and heart. So that's what I'm wearing today. I am also wearing a medicine bundle. Now I have things in here from my vision quest. I have moldavite, which is a very powerful crystal, very tiny little pieces in here. I have like little pieces of tobacco that have been blessed by elders when I got my spirit name. I believe I have like some cedar in here from that. And so on. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Apparently, you're not supposed to tell someone what is in one of these completely because then they know what you're lacking. And they can somehow destroy you or whatever. But that has to do more so with magic and that kind of thing. But yeah, so this is what I'm wearing today. I thought it was suiting since I'm talking about the medicine wheel. So I learned about the medicine wheel many years ago. I'll start off with, I first started working for Native Child and Family Services, a wonderful children's aid for the Native culture. I basically worked in almost every single section and division of that place, and got to know almost all of the children in care at the time, most of their parents. I knew about their stories and what was going on, as it was part of my job to know these things. So it was just an amazing place to work. I loved working there. Every day I learned something, and it was just a very wonderful place for me to work. So I worked for there about a year, and then I was let go due to budget cuts. So because I didn't really have an official position and they kept moving me to different divisions, they said, we had to get rid of me. So anyways, that was probably the only job that I was let go from. And I did cry when they told me because I did love working there so much. But I mean, c'est la vie. Everything happens for a reason. So moving on. I had a friend there who was much younger. He was a native guy and very funny and strange at the same time. Anyways, he told me one day that he told me about a vision quest, he didn't really tell me too much more, but he said that I wouldn't be able to do it because A, I was female, and B, because I was white. So anytime someone tells me I cannot do something, I find out if that's in fact true, which usually it's not. Because when you really think about it, you can do anything you want to do in life, ever. You can get whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, as long as you want it bad enough. And then sometimes it comes and you don't even want it then anymore anyways. So That's how life works. Just want everyone to know that. I feel like everybody should know that. And then I feel like the world would be a happier place. But anyways, moving on. Yeah, so he told me about a vision quest. I started asking people about it, and each person would give me little tidbits about what it was about and how you would be able to do this and da da da. And so eventually I had all this information, and I went and did this. So I went up north. I went to Thunder Mountain, which is like near Hudson Bay, super far away from Toronto. I stayed there for I think I was there for 5 or 6 days. So basically what happened is we did some ceremonies. There was, there was tons of ceremonies going on. And then we were all brought up to the mountain, to Thunder Mountain, and we were all to choose a place that we were going to sleep the next day for 4 days and 4 nights. No food, no water. So I decided I wanted to be on the very tip of the mountain where I could see the whole forest. It was just beautiful. And you go up there by yourself, and you're not allowed to you're not allowed to look at anyone in the eye. And you're not really supposed to talk to anyone other than the elder who comes to visit you every day to make sure you're still alive. So I went up there. And it was a pretty intense experience. I remember my first day, I cried a lot. I had never been, you have a cedar circle around you. I had a tent and like a blanket and sleeping bag. And I had tobacco, and I had this, and that was it, basically. That was actually it. Nothing to write on, just nothing. So I had never been in a situation where I had nothing to do, no entertainment whatsoever. I had never been confined like that because my childhood, we were allowed to do whatever we wanted, when we wanted, where we wanted, with who we wanted. Yeah. So I had never had any boundaries like that in my entire life, because you're supposed to stay in the cedar circle. You're not supposed to leave this small circle for the 4 days and 4 nights. So I was hysterical. I was crying the whole time. I felt stuck because a lot of the time too, if I didn't like a situation, I would just flee. I would just get up and leave. And so I had just never been in a situation like that. I couldn't leave because I had no idea where I was going, because I'd have to walk through the forest. I was already weak because I hadn't eaten, and I'm a very tiny person in general, so when I don't eat, I'm like sick, sickly. So I cried a lot. I cried so much. I remember the elder coming to visit me every day. And it was funny because after even 2 days, you realize when he comes around the same time. I would see where the sun is, and I would know he was coming because I would see the sun setting, and I knew that he would be around that time. So it was really cool. You become really connected to nature. You're not supposed to kill anything, step on anything, because you're supposed to be respectful of your surroundings. Anyways, it was just, I'm probably giving away too much, so I do apologize to the Native culture. Maybe I'm not supposed to say everything, so I'll stop there. But, so the elder came to visit me every single day around the same time, and I remember one day I was flipping out. I was hysterically crying. I just couldn't control myself. I had to get out of the circle. So I left the circle and sat on the edge of the mountain, very close to the edge, and just bawled my eyes out for probably hours. And then I remember seeing these two, what I thought were eagles, fly up from the bottom. It looked like from the bottom of the mountain, fly up over me. So I followed them. And I realized, as I completely looked up, I saw like 10 vultures circling around me. So I flipped out because I was like, oh my God, they know I'm dying. Like, I'm dying because I haven't eaten or drank anything in days. I'm freaking out. So I look for a stick of some sort. I get back into the circle and realize like I'm being like circled. I remember seeing their shadows go around me on the ground as I was looking for the stick. And then when I looked back up, had the stick in my hand. I looked back up and they were gone. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, this is so crazy. What did that mean? Like, am I gonna die? Like, are they trying to tell me I'm gonna die? So I was flipping out even more. Finally, the elder got there that night, and I was hysterical. They say that